Hey everyone, I guess it is time for, well, Christmas, the holidays, and my first time meeting without Ansu. So, it was crazy. So, we planned ahead of time for me to come to Romania in December. He really wanted me to be there for the holidays. And it was smart because it gave us a chance to finally meet in person. Because we hadn't met in person before we decided to change our whole life. That was the very TLDR. I gave you guys a very shortened version of my switch of life, right? Very short version. Um, but whew, hey, that's what happened, right? It's what happened. So I came in December, like a week or two, but 2 weeks, middle of the month, I think. Yeah, something like that, before Christmas. And I remember, I guess I should start with the flight. So it was my first time ever flying internationally. And it's COVID. COVID 2021, December, still pretty in the peak of travel restrictions with COVID-19. And I was really worried because I was so worried I would get somewhere and then they'd turn me away because I didn't have something filled out right or forgot to do one form or just my American thing wasn't what they needed in their country. Like I was so worried about that. So I ended up doing well, of course I had my vaccinations. I had all of them, including my booster, which was great. So I had 3 vaccinations. I also was able to get a last minute rapid test because that's what it required in Germany. And I think that also it wasn't required for Romania, but I was like, I'll get a rapid test just to make sure, just in case they require it. So I feel like I had everything set. I filled out all the forms and I get to the airport. So I was traveling from Philadelphia to Canada. I think I was set for Toronto, um, and then to Munich, and then to Cluj-Napoca. And I get to there. Well, I don't even get to anywhere. I'm all packed up, and it's the morning. I'm talking to Lau on like a video chat that morning before leaving on my flight, and I get a message saying your flight has been canceled. Like, why? Why? Why do you have to do that to me, right? Why? Um, so the stress immediately set in. The worry of, is this actually gonna happen? Like, is something gonna happen to where I just can't go? Is something with COVID gonna happen? Oh God, what's happening? Because they said the reason was due to COVID. But really, what that meant more likely was one of the crew members tested positive for COVID, so couldn't come to work, so they were short staffed. But Air Canada had to change my flight. Luckily, they did immediately, almost immediately. It was quite nice, actually, to a flight through Montreal instead. I think it was Montreal anyway. And then that ended up going from, I think, to Frankfurt instead of Munich, but still through Germany. And I got to the airport, and they're like, "This isn't enough." Like, what do you mean? They're like, Canada has stricter regulations. So I stressed. I'm like, but I read the thing on Expedia. It said if you're passing through Canada, just at the airport, you don't need to have a negative PCR test. But that wasn't the case at all. It was wrong. It was completely wrong. And unfortunately, that meant like I was like, what do I do? And luckily, unfortunately, I was stressed out, didn't know what to do. Fortunately, um, they had a testing facility within Philadelphia airport, and they actually had a rapid PCR test, which doesn't sound logical, but apparently somehow they have one. I don't know. Some people said it doesn't make sense, but they have one. It exists. Whatever. It was valid. That's all that matters. Said PCR test. Who cares? So we did that, and I was good to go. That was after waiting at the airport for like 2 full hours, I think. Because, or at least it was more than an hour. No one was at the desk before that. So after waiting all that time, I double paid for my baggage. It was an extra $100 to buy another bag, or an extra $200 to bring a second large bag. It was so much. It was crazy. And it was just a stressful day, and then there's that extra stress. Got my test, got there, got to my spot in time, had plenty of time, luckily. But what I didn't have time for was my transition in Germany. Right? It was the one in Germany, yes. So I had plenty of time from when I got to Canada to get on my flight for Germany. Great, no problem. Whatever, more not basic custom stuff again. No big deal. But my layover was like less than 1 hour with the flight change. And the flight was late leaving because it was snowing, so they had to de-ice. So I get to the airport, and in Germany, the flight lands, we get there. I'm running through the airport like in a movie, you know, exhausted, sweating, so gross feeling, so stressed that I'm gonna miss the flight. They're calling my name on that loudspeaker where you're like, literally like a damn movie, like last call for these names. I was one of those people. And sure enough, I finally get there, out of breath, exhausted. Giant airport to run through. I actually ran past the entrance, had to run back to my gate. And sure enough, this was so annoying. So, as I fix my hair, don't mind me. Haha. She's like, all right, go down the stairs and you'll go out to the bus. I'm like, down the stairs? I had gone up like 4 stories? 5 stories? Maybe more? I had to go down all these stairs with my heavy ass computer bag. I mean, it's a heavy computer. All of this, it was packed full of stuff, plus my other bag, plus my winter clothes, and it was terrible. But luckily, out of breath, literally dying, could not catch my breath for like almost the entire flight, I swear, to Cluj. But it's okay, I made it. I made it to my flight to Cluj. First stop to getting to Romania, right? So, our plane lands. Woohoo, we're finally here. I'm actually here. Our plane landed at the same time as 2 other flights. That's not normal, but because there was delays, it happened. So the customs area was packed. It took me an hour to get through customs, and poor Lau was sitting out there waiting for me with a bouquet of flowers, just waiting for me. Took forever. They asked me a ton of questions, of course. They overly questioned, like, where I was going to be staying, whatever. But that's how it worked. They overly questioned me. I wasn't surprised. Gave them the address, gave them his phone number, all that. Because they're not sure what you're there for, right? And you only have, luckily as an American, I can travel to Romania on a 90-day visa with no extra visa. Just your passport, nothing else. Boom, 90 days, you're good to go. So that made that part easy at least. But got through the gate, got my bag. Oh, didn't get my bags. Didn't get my bags because I didn't get my bags because they got lost, but not lost. It was just, I think, because of the flight changes and this very short time with the flight from Germany to, or actually it was the short time was, I think, from, yeah, Germany to whatever, and the flight change from Toronto to Montreal. I think they messed something up. My bags were stuck in Germany and they were on the wrong flight, of course, go figure. They didn't make it, so couldn't grab my bags. But I got to go out there and finally give Lau a hug and a kiss and breathe a sigh of relief that I was actually there. I was finally there with him in person, and it was quite sweet. Um, I remember feeling so emotional and just so happy, nervous a little, not really though, more of a like excitement, nervous feeling. Like it was just so nice to finally be there. So we got a little cute tiny hotel room, very tiny little room above a little restaurant bar place. It was so tiny and so funny. And stayed the night. In the morning we picked up my bags and then we drove home to our home in Pribilești. And that started off the vacation, the holiday, in Europe now, right? And it was all so sweet. It really was. I guess after I settled in, everything was perfect, by the way. The first night being with him, feel like just literally being with him. Everything was so perfect and felt right, and I immediately knew that I'd made the right decision. I really did. And I got to meet his parents, not the first day, but the next day after. And they were so sweet. Oh my God, I've never met such loving people in my life. They are wonderful, wonderful humans. He talks so highly. He loves his mom. He's a mama's boy. So I already loved his mother before I even met her. And holy cow, I'm definitely a daddy's girl now. Love Tati. So sweet. Such a wonderful human. Yeah, I mean, I was not surprised, but I guess a little. Like I expected them to be nice but I expected them to be a little bit hesitant maybe, but they weren't. They fully welcomed me in wholeheartedly, and everyone in this family has been so kind. I know I need to work on my Romanian. That's the thing here, right? That's a question I'm probably going to get asked. Do you even speak Romanian? Not really. Un pic. Vorbesc român un pic. Un pic. But yes, I need to actually schedule my Romanian lessons to make myself progress, because I feel like I'm kind of stuck where I was in November and December before I came here. Probably December, I'm at the same point I was in December, because I really haven't progressed learning new stuff much yet. But I am learning just being around it, of course, let's be honest. But all right, let's circle back around. Let's talk the holidays. So, it was super nice. We had Christmas with the family, and everyone was so nice. People talk about the food, right? You always want to know how the food is. I'm definitely gonna have more episodes where I expand on the food. I show the food. Maybe we cook some food. We'll have some fun. But right now, these first couple episodes are gonna just be a lot of me chatting and kind of catching us up to speed of where we are in real life now, right? We gotta catch up first. So the food was really good. Everything. The alcohol's fun. They have orinka with every meal, and they have homemade wine, which is so great to have wine, like homemade natural wine right here from our backyard. Love it, literally. And the only thing I think some of the food the only thing I wasn't like a fan of is all the cold meat stuff. They have a lot of like they eat a lot of the meats cold with their Christmas appetizers, which I found different. That was probably the one thing I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. But there were some oddball things they had me try, like mare de corace, which I happen to enjoy, which we only had one time, guys. I thought we had this more often. Or you guys were just trying to get me to try all that traditional stuff, weren't you? But I liked that. There was something else I tried that they weren't sure if I would like, but I liked. No, I can't remember what else that was. But Sarmale, amazing. Meat, so fun, so delicious. Love it. I mean, those are the main things, just like to say right away, right? Sarmale and meat. And orinka. Some people call it palinka. Yeah. And suika. I'm not sure how to say that. I'm not sure how to pronounce that properly. I haven't heard that name. I haven't heard that term for it in a while. But orinka is what we call it here in Ardeal, right? At least in this area. At least in this city. Yeah. So we had our Christmas. Everything was super fun. They carol, guys. Like, they go to each family's house and carol outside their door. Aww. It's super sweet. All the kids do extra songs. Adorable. Loved it. And then there was New Year's, right? And then there was New Year's. So New Year's was super nice. Hung out with the family. Had some drinks. And he put the first ring on it. Hey!
Ragazzi, stai a picco.
Ever since I heard you, since you arrived to Romania, I knew that you were the one, and I knew that I wanted to marry you. So babe, will you marry me?
Of course.
I knew I wanted to marry you
Yes.
before I came here.
Hoće rutom ga spuši.
Može se na engleză, știi,
Știu. Da, mă înțeles.
Au, mă strâng.
You're making happy from my life. Promise.
You already have.
Yeah. Oh my god. That was so quick. I was like, oh, I'm so worried.
Oh,
Yes.
Sweetie.
it's official now.
Yes, now it's official. You said yes, thank God. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Happy.
My little girl.
You're officially part of the family, my love.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the family. Acum încercă că scros.
Bravo. Super. Super.
Da, da. Felicitări. Congratulations. Și eu te iubesc. Lat.
Na, o să fie mătușa ta.
Congratulations.
Da?
Da, no, eu cred. Congratulations from the cameraman.
So he actually officially, even though we talked and the plan obviously was, of course we're going to get married. He always referred to me as his future wife. But we made it official, right? We made it official. And then I spent a couple more weeks here in Romania, and then I had to go back to New Jersey. Had to wrap up life there, take care of the photography studio, pack up things, sell things. Sold my car, sold almost everything I own. Photography-wise, I handed that off to someone else to run, and literally just gave away my business and all my stuff. It's crazy, but it's true. I came here with only, 3-4 suitcases full of stuff total? It's really weird to think about, but I have more coming. But, I skipped so many things, but there's only so much I should ramble on about. I don't want to bore you guys with all the stories, but we're going to have lots more stories to tell, and we're going to have lots more to properly show you, because I've been actually recording videos properly now, so we'll get into the real life stuff after I came back to Romania for the first bit.
Culați-vă gaze mari în seara de Crăciun. Sculați voi români plugați în seara de Crăciun. Că vă vin colindători în seara de Crăciun. colindăm iarna, pe la uși, pe la ferești. Colindăm, colindăm iarna, cu colinde românești. Colindăm, colindăm iarna, pe la uși, pe la ferești. Colindăm, colindăm iarna, cu colinde românești. Colindăm, colindăm iarna, pe la case de români. Colindăm, colindăm iarna, pe la oameni dragi și buni.
Bravo!